What's going on, guys? LSU Recruiting HQ back with another episode today. Uh, LSU takes down Arkansas 13-10 yesterday in a very sloppy, sore on the eyes kind of football game. Um, it is November, it is cold, and both offenses yesterday were freezing, to say the least. Arkansas struggled to move the football. LSU struggled to move the football. Turnovers. Great defensive play. Um, Everybody knows by now Harold Perkins is a beast. That kid is the best player on the football field. I don't give a dang who you're playing. That kid is an impact player, and that kid should be playing every single snap. Unless he is tired and he is asking to come out, that kid should not be off the field. Um, that being said, the offense yesterday, I wouldn't I wouldn't dig too deep. If I'm an LSU fan waking up this morning, um, you see the 13-10, you watch the game, uh, you might even go rewatch it. I personally wouldn't. Um, I wouldn't waste my time. It was hard enough to watch the first time, uh, but Arkansas had a good game plan, guys. I know that's hard to believe. I know you think, this machine that's been going the last 3 weeks for LSU's offense is like this unstoppable force. But Arkansas came in with a really good plan and they executed that plan to perfection. They were able to get pressure while staying in coverage. It's a hard thing to master. The real struggles came from the LSU offensive line. A lot of twists, a lot of stunts from the defensive line. We're able to get pressure with 3 and 4 guys, and they were able to contain the pocket, right? Jane Daniels, obviously the big running threat he is. If you get out of your rush lanes, boom, he's gone. Takes off, breaks a tackle, boom. Now you're giving up 25 yards. And Arkansas first of all did a great job at tackling. Tackling Jane Daniels is not an easy task, and every single time they were straight to the ball, getting them on the ground, 2 or 3 yards here and there, or even sacking him. Arkansas had 7 sacks in this game, 5 in the first half. And that's exactly the difference in the ball game, because LSU's offense really shot itself in the foot. Every good drive they had, either sacks or penalties ruined those drives, to continue and maybe end up in the end zone. But like I said, man, this is all Barry Odom and that defense coming up with a good plan, able to play coverage, right? Arkansas has struggled to play coverage all season. But yesterday, their corners played absolutely amazing, on the back end, just not giving LSU receivers a lot of room to do anything. They were just dropping into coverage, and rushing 3 to 4 guys, being creative on the defensive line, confusing the offensive line, and it showed, and it took its toll. I personally thought LSU needed to run the ball against that thing more, but then I go and look at the box score, and they ran the ball 51 times. So it's like, what can I complain about? You ran the ball 51 times, and it still feels like they didn't run it enough. To be honest with you, you ran it for 5 yards a carry. If you take out the sack yards, you ran it for 5 yards a carry. If you told me before this game, right? So everybody knows the 3-point spread by now, right? Arkansas was a +3 this morning. You could have got it at 3.5, 4.5 by the time they announced KJ Jefferson was out. But you tell me before the game, hey, LSU is gonna hold Arkansas to 10 points. All right, you tell me that, man, I'm getting every dollar I got out the bank account, and I'm putting it on LSU to cover 3 points. There was no way in the world you could have convinced me LSU was only going to score 13 points today. That one probably shocked me the most. But man, like I said, it was just such a sloppy game. But you know what they say, it's so much easier to critique wins than it is losses, and that's what we're doing, because your Fighting Tigers won yesterday, and the Alabama Crimson Tide beat Ole Miss, which means LSU is going to the SEC championship game for the first time since 2019, and Joe Burrow and all them guys. Brian Kelly's first full season as LSU's football coach. He takes LSU to the SEC West division crown into the SEC championship game. And technically, LSU still controls their own destiny, man. Oregon losing yesterday opens the door for that potential situation out there in the West. And so it is a tough thing to win in this league, and Brian Kelly has proven it every single week, to get his teams ready and have them prepared to do what it takes to win. It's not always pretty. All right, if you go back and watch the Notre Dame games, it is not always pretty. They are not going to wow you. They're not going to blow teams out by 40. All right, but when it comes down to it, Brian Kelly sat there yesterday. All right, he's seen Jaden Daniels throw the interception first drive, fumble a couple drives later, and he said the only way Arkansas is winning this football game is if we hand it to them. All right, run the football, play defense, and we will come out of here with a win, and we can move on from this game. Like I said, I don't think Brian Kelly is going to harp too much on this game. After the game, most important part about it is you won the football game. Arkansas, this game means so much for Arkansas. You guys know this. This is like they're fighting for bowl eligibility. The rivalry with LSU is big up there, and they take that game super serious. And obviously Arkansas has guys that played for LSU on the team, so you add in that extra motivation for that. It was just a recipe for the letdown spot, right? We talked about it all week. I didn't think LSU would come in flat like that. I actually thought they would start fast. I really think if Jane Daniels doesn't throw that interception on the first drive, right, the unfortunate interception, I'm not sure what he was doing on that one, because I couldn't see who he was even trying to throw the ball to. There was two guys nowhere near. The running back wasn't even looking. Wide receiver wasn't even close. If he was throwing that ball to the wide receiver, we're going to have hellacious problems. But like I said, man, that being said, LSU survives in Fayetteville, and most importantly, continues on this track to where they control their own destiny. You still have two more regular season games, a final home game, senior night. UAB should be an LSU win this week, and then you go to College Station, and things are not going well there. But that being said, LSU A&M has been a fierce rivalry the last 4 or 5 years, since the 2018 game, really. Since that game, LSU and A&M have been just dog fights, and A&M playing in College Station is always a threat. LSU's gonna have to bring it to finish this season the way they want to finish it. You finish 10-2 with a chance to write history and get your team in the playoffs with 2 losses if you beat Georgia in the SEC championship game, but none of that matters if you lose to Texas A&M or UAB. So LSU's got to get a lot of things cleaned up. I believe they will. That's why we're not going to spend too much time dogging on them this week. Just really getting focused, doing what they need to do to get better and learn from this. The SoCal kid, Jaden Daniels, playing in 25-degree weather, is not ideal for him. I'm sure that's the coldest game he's ever played, probably the coldest game he's going to play in his career, at LSU at least. And just a sloppy game in all general. You just got to be thankful for guys like Harold Perkins and everybody on that defense yesterday that stepped up, and every time LSU needed a stop, they got it. And it was just such a crucial game for LSU to get that out the way. All right, get that business taken care of, and just keep moving on to the next. Right, at this point, you're just playing for wins, and then you need to be playing your best ball by the time December 3rd rolls around. And I think LSU will compete. I think they got a chance. The hypothetical is, LSU is not ready for Georgia, and that could be the truth, man. Georgia could come in there and roll us, and just like Tennessee did, and everybody will be right about LSU. They're good, but they're not great. But I like to think that this team has a chip on their shoulder, and they play with that same edge that their head coach has, about being doubted all year long. Written off after game 1, Florida State loss. This team wasn't supposed to amount to nothing, and what they have accomplished is a truly special feature and something that every LSU fan should take pride in. That this team is back to playing to the LSU standard, and this team cares, right? The last couple years have not been like that. So the fact that that is the norm now, and you are winning football games you're supposed to win, and you are doing extraordinary things that you're not supposed to do. It's just an amazing, and a hat off to Brian Kelly and the staff for an amazing season to this point, but still have work to do, of course. And that is all we're going to talk about today. I hope you guys. All right, guys. If you like today's video, man, make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's completely free, and I appreciate you guys so much for watching. And I will see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day.